Hey friends, Ash here with Gents. Hope you're doing well. Today I'm going to be revisiting 5 fragrances that I did not like at all when they first came out. So we're going to see if my opinion has changed or if I still think that these are complete trash. Let's just jump into it. Let's start smelling these. Today's video is sponsored by FragranceUSA.com. Shout out to them and link in the description to their website. They're actually running a sale from today through Sunday, July 2nd through the 4th. You can get 20% off your entire order of everything they've got in stock with the code JULY4. Just July 4, the number 4. They've got a bunch of great prices on niche fragrances, designer fragrances, everything completely authentic, fast shipping. You know the drill. So go ahead and check them out in the description. Use that code July4. Again, only runs from the 2nd through the 4th. Let's jump into these 5 fragrances. I'll reveal what they are as we go and let you know what I think about them now as compared to when I first reviewed them. First up, we've got this one, Dolce Gabbana K Eau de Toilette. Now, when this was first announced, first released, I thought the presentation was horrific. I didn't like it at all. I thought the cap was super tacky. I mean, it's lightweight, you know, it doesn't have a metallic crown. I think that would have really made it pop, but I understand cost-wise that wouldn't really be efficient. But, you know, some nice heft to it would help it look a little bit more luxurious, especially when you take a look at the bottle and it's just that. And I get it, K for king, but it's almost like the fragrance is so lackadaisical that you would just look at it and go, okay. I didn't really like how this one came across. It's a fresh fragrance, obviously, more of a blue type scent that you would wear anywhere. It's got juniper in there, a good amount of it, along with pimento and vetiver. And of course, citrus off the top, most prominently blood orange. So with this one, I didn't really like how it had this omnipresent, fuzzy aroma chemical vibe from the opening as soon as you spray it on until the dry down. So how do I feel about it now? Well, I still don't love it, but I like it more now than when it was first released. I will tell you guys though that I still don't think it's really worth buying because this exists, K Eau de Parfum, and this smells much better than this. So if you're looking for a K fragrance, I would just say, get this one over here. Alternatively, there's also L'Homme Rojas, which is not the same as this fragrance, but it's in a similar style, and I would say that one's better also. So that's 2 fragrances that are close to what this one is doing, but they do it better. So I still can't really suggest that you pick this up. That being said, as a fresh, compliment pulling, very versatile, youthful blue fragrance for spring and summertime, especially daytime use, K Eau de Toilette is actually pretty solid. I think maybe I was just expecting more or hoping for more from that fragrance, even though the presentation itself is still pretty bad, in my opinion. Overall though, do I like it more than when I first reviewed it? Yes, I do. Do I think it's worth running out and grabbing? No, still don't. Next up on the chopping block, Guilty Cologne by Gucci. Yeah, this one I didn't give a whole bunch of love to, which is kind of weird because the fragrance itself is green. It makes heavy use of cypress, and that's a note that I absolutely adore, but it didn't work for me. Now, this one, I'm gonna tell you, out of all the fragrances here, I like a lot more now than I did when I first got it. There's also heliotrope in here, there's musk, there's rosemary, and there's juniper in the scent. So this one has a soapiness to it. It's got a little bit of an old school vibe, if you want to call it that. It smells like it could have come out, 2-3 decades ago even. But at the same time, it's modern. So it has this green soapiness to it, but done in a throwback masculine way, I guess you could say. There's citrus in here, but you don't really get a big blast of it. At least I don't. It goes more aromatic pretty early on. And that one, nowadays, I think is actually pretty nice. Yeah, weird. It's going to appeal a lot more, I feel like, to somebody in their 30s and older. It doesn't really come across like a fragrance that was made for somebody who's a teenager or in their early 20s. So guys in that age range, yeah, they're probably not gonna go for it. But a little bit older, yeah, nice. And actually that toss just now, that was skills. I wish you could have seen it. I would put it in slow motion. It landed absolutely perfectly in the tiniest spot between K and Guilty Cologne. Next up, it's gotta be this one. Wanted Tonic by Azarro. This one I hated. Now I paid, I think, $115 or something for this. Yeah, that's on me. That's 100% on me. I got it from a store in Spain, off the internet, you know, and couldn't wait to get my hands on it, so I paid more than I should have. And then it came in, and yeah, it is. There's lime, ginger, and patchouli as some of the notes in the fragrance here. I mean, the coloration of the fragrance, you know what that looks like almost? Like toilet bowl cleaner. Like after you spray the blue stuff around the edge of the toilet bowl and scrub it, it looks like Azarro Wanted Tonic. Now, I'm not saying that's what the fragrance smells like, but absolutely this did not work for me. I said that it smells essentially like the world's most generic or boring gym fragrance or sport fragrance. And nowadays, I think the same thing. This stuff sucks. Now, again, I did pay over $100 for this. And when you pay that amount of money for a fragrance, you're expecting at least like a certain level of quality, right? So when you pay $100, $115, $120 for a designer scent, at that point, you're going, okay, I dropped the money, it better be good. And when you get in something that smells like this and you paid that much money, it's really hard to be like, oh yeah, I made a great purchase. It's more like you get it in and you go, I'm an idiot. No. Now, if you could pick this up at a discounter for $25, something like that, maybe it would be a serviceable gym fragrance, a serviceable high heat daytime in the summer type scent, you know, something you spray on to smell clean and fresh. But if you pay more than that, no, you took the L. Next up, 1 Million Parfum. This one I wasn't a fan of because it smells kind of like sunscreen, suntan lotion, whatever. And it's heavy on the white florals, not really heavy on the 1 million. Now, do I still hate the fragrance? I don't know that I ever hated it. Like Wanted Tonic, okay, I hated that. 1 Million Parfum was more so just, what even is this? Like, why? More than anything. 1 Million has a number of flankers, and some of them you can tie much more closely to the original 1 Million than some of the other flankers. So 1 Million Lucky, kind of doing its own thing, right? 1 Million Cologne, 1 Million Intense, which is now discontinued. Those you could draw a much closer line to the original. Even 1 Million Privé, that keeps along with the 1 Million theme of this warmth and spiciness and sweetness. It's got that. 1 Million Parfum doesn't. If we're just being super simplistic, doesn't. I still don't like the name because when you name it 1 Million Parfum, based off of basically everything that fragrance companies have been trying to push down your throat, parfum version of a fragrance means you're taking that scent and you're typically making it darker, denser, richer, sometimes bolder, but that's what you're doing, right? It's the parfum version. It's the more intense version, the more concentrated version. So they named it 1 Million Parfum. And what did they do? They stripped out almost all of the spice and they loaded in solar notes and tuberose and made it smell like sunscreen on leather. I still think that's such an asinine name, and I know that there are going to be some people out there that are like, no, 1 Million Parfum is very cool, and I don't like you saying that it is stupid. That's cool, whatever. If you like 1 Million Parfum, awesome, good on you. But I think that the name makes no freaking sense. And to me, it's almost like they had the fragrance and they worked backwards from there. So they had the fragrance, and then they were like, okay, where are we gonna fit this in with all the stuff we have? And actually, this is something that the vast majority, not all, but the vast majority of designer houses will do, they get the fragrance and they work backwards. So the fragrance is done, but they don't have a name for it. They don't have a story for it. They don't have packaging for it. They work backwards from there. And I could be completely wrong with this one, but it seems like that's what happened. They had the fragrance and they were like, man, I don't know. Can we put it in the Pure XS line? Probably not, no. Also might not sell as well. Invictus? Nah, it doesn't make sense for Invictus. Well, we got 1 million. Hey, that works. 1 million what? What do we call it? Parfum? Yeah, who cares? Sure. So yeah, I'm ragging on the name a lot. I don't like it. Let's move on. So yeah, the fragrance doesn't have a lot of what makes 1 million 1 million. This is more of a unisex, white floral, solar smelling kind of fragrance. It's gonna remind some people of sunscreen. It reminds me a bit of Fire Island by Bond No. 9. And I'm not in love with it. I don't think at all that it's a more mature version of 1 million. I don't think at all that it's a deeper version of 1 million. I think that it's something kind of standing out on its own. And for me, it doesn't matter what bottle that's in, I still wouldn't really go for it. I'm not a huge fan of that type of scent. That being said, it is competently put together. The quality smells fine. It's well blended, but I still don't really like it. Man, this video is running long. Okay, last up, Camuto Verity with the GIMP leather. Yeah, sick. I do not know why they went with the patent leather look, because it does remind me of like the dude in American Horror Story, the first season, who had the leather suit on. Anybody seen that? Some of you out there. This is his fragrance of choice, no doubt. So I busted on that one pretty heavily, but it's actually not that bad, honestly. It's really not. You can pick it up for about $30 some at discounters. That's not a bad price. It smells like a dry, woodsy kind of scent, similar to Santal 33 from Le Labo. So if you like that fragrance, but you want something a lot more affordable, it's gonna give you a similar scent profile, this is gonna do that for you. It's gonna fill that ticket. It's got birch, cedar, papyrus, pepper, and sandalwood. So again, very woodsy, sort of dry. You don't get this big fruity pop in it or anything like that. It's versatile, it's masculine, easy to wear, and I was way too harsh on it. When you first spray it on, it doesn't really smell that good. It does smell kind of cheap initially, a little bit of that alcohol blast that you have to let dry down. Once you do though, it's fine. I mean, it's not gonna like blow minds and melt faces and you know, blow people's hair back and whatever, but it's good. It's better than a lot of Camuto fragrances, because a lot of the Camuto scents, especially some of the newer ones, don't really smell super well put together. The blend is maybe not the best, but this one's pretty solid. Nothing sticks out, you know, nothing comes across like, oh, that's way too sharp. They should have removed that, toned that down, whatever. So while the scent itself is maybe not really all that exciting, that one I was much harsher on than I should have been. So in revisiting these and wearing these again, I would say Wanted Tonic is the worst. I think that one is still pretty horrific, especially for the price that I paid. And I would say the one that has grown on me the most is Guilty Cologne, believe it or not. And I think K Eau de Toilette is, you know, solid for younger guys as well, and even some middle-aged guys. I think it's got, you know, a nice little mature edge to it, but I still don't think you need it, because Eau de Parfum is better and the Rojas is better. All right, that's it from me, guys. Thanks for hanging out with me as I revisit some fragrances that I kind of dunked on before. And again, check out Fragrance USA for that sale. It's only a few days. July 4, save yourself 20% off. See you guys again with another fragrance video tomorrow. See you guys. Stay safe out there.